In today's fossil hunt, we're going to be focusing on a fossil hunt which Shae had very recently. He embarked on a very long walk, and we've got about 6 hours of fossil hunting here, condensed into around 40 minutes. I've also got some extra bits of footage, which I'll explain in just a moment. Shae got dropped off at the start of his fossil hunt by my parents. They then drove home and came and picked him up later in the day. Throughout this fossil hunt, he's going to cover 3 or 4 beaches. And after just editing the video and filming this as the final piece, I can tell you he finds some really good fossils. He finds a number of different species of ammonites. Pleurosaurus, Dactyliosaurus, Perinosaurus, finds all sorts. And he also finds a number of bits of fossilised bones as well. So it's such an incredible fossil hunt. Certainly one of the best we've had in quite a while, possibly due to all the rough seas, as you can see behind me. We've also got some drone footage from one of our friends on Instagram who kindly filmed this for us and sent it across. So I'll credit him in the drone footage itself, just down below. This video has taken quite a long time to make and edit, and I think it's the longest fossil hunt I've uploaded to my YouTube channel so far. So down in the comments, definitely let me know if this type of video is something you would like, and I can make some longer YouTube videos in the future. But let me know if you prefer this style or shorter videos. Now, whilst I've been down here filming this, I've actually come across a little marine reptile find of my own. I'll show you where I found it, and I'll show you the fossil itself right at the end of the video. So we've got Shae's fossil hunt as the main part, and right at the end, we've got my best find of today. I didn't find anything else on today's fossil hunt, so I'm not going to include any of the footage. However, I did see a nice little seal, and I'll show you the seal footage, because I think that's quite nice to see. I think that's enough of me talking for now. Let's get on and see Shae's fossil hunt. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure to get some snacks ready if you haven't already. It's going to be a good one.
I've just come out for an early morning's fossil hunting, and I'm just about to head down the rope now. It's a pretty nice morning. I've got here in plenty of time. It's just an hour after high water. I hope we get some good finds. Thought I might as well film me going down the rope, see how fast I can get down, so hopefully I don't slip. As you can see, I've only just actually stepped onto the beach. I've already spotted an ammonite over there in the shingle, so we'll go and have a look. See if you can spot it. It's quite water worn, but it just shows that they're there to find. Especially with it being busy in the summer holidays. It's right there. It's quite crusty around the edges, where it must have been exposed in the cliff for quite some time. And now it's rolled out onto the beach. So we'll split that open later in the video. I usually like to collect all of the nodules and then split them all at once. Oh, I've spotted another one already. This one looks a little bit nicer. Oh, definitely. Looks like that'll pop open straight away with a hammer and chisel. Looks like you could almost grind this bottom bit off and use it as a stand as well. There's another worn one. If I split this open, it'll most likely have a perfect centre. So it's definitely worth having a go, even if it looks like it's rotten on the edge. I've just picked up this nodule. At the first glance, it actually looked like a little piece of bone, especially because of the brown colour here. But if you look at the growth lines, you can see that it's actually just a piece of fossil wood. You can see all the individual rings and layers going around there. So I'm pretty confident that it's wood and not bone, so we'll leave that. There's another ammonite just poking out a nodule in the clip. See if you can spot it. It's right down here in the corner. You can see the outer keel of the ammonite just there. It's worn away, but you can see all the individual chambers. So we'll give that a whack open later as well. I've got roughly 5 hours before low water, so I should be fine. But it's always best to make sure you know what you're doing. Or if you've never been to a certain beach before, it's always best to ask for advice. You don't want to end up getting cut off and having to be rescued. We'll make our way further along the beach and see what we can find. This particular bit of beach looks like it's pretty sanded up, so there aren't many pebbles to look through. So we can pretty much skip this bit out and go straight on to the next bit. Further up the beach where the tide hasn't reached, there's a few pebbles, so I'll just have a look at those while I'm walking along. there's an ammonite in there. That's the outer edge just starting to get worn away. But there should be a nice one inside. Hopefully it splits okay. They can be quite sticky around here, which means they usually split straight through the ammonite. Just set my bag down so I can put the ammonite nodules in for later. Where I am now, there's actually quite a lot of big boulders that protect this certain little bit of beach. So especially when there's a flat sea like this, there isn't usually many fossils that get washed out from the shingle. But I'm hoping there's a few little bits and pieces that people have missed. So I'll give it a go and have a little look. And hopefully I'm assuming we'll get a few ammonites, maybe a little lobster nodule, but we'll have a little look and see what we can find. There's a broken ammonite in that nodule there. Another broken one. You can see the outside layer of pyrite. So these nodules are usually pretty hard to break, and even when you're trying to break them, shards of pyrite can actually like ping off. So it's always recommended that you wear safety goggles. I know that I always wear a pair now. It's definitely worth keeping your eyesight protected. Little bits of belemnite. It's only just missing the point. I'm just coming up to a nice shingly patch. There's quite a few pebbles to look through. There's quite a few ammonites, I'd imagine, especially water-world ones that have been in there quite some time. Yep, so you can just see the worn keel of one just there. I'm pretty sure that's where the mouth border would have been, so the rest of the ammonite should be perfectly in the centre. See another little bit of it there. Little piece of a Ichthyosaur ammonite. Just one ammonites in this one, so we'll leave that one here. There's an ammonite poking out just there. Nice little thing. There's another one. This one looks like someone's tried to split it and then a little piece has come off, so they've left it. Even ones like this, I keep. All you need to do is remove that tiny bit of rock there in the centre, and you've got a nice piece. I just set my bag down so I could put those nodules in, and then to the left I saw a perfectly round nodule. You can't see anything just on the top, but from further afield you could actually see the keel underneath. Very nice. Straight in the rucksack. You can see the keel of one just there, sticking out the side. Oh wow, it's already popped. You can see where the sutures have worn a little bit from being exposed to the sea for so long, but it's definitely worth holding on to it. I've finished looking in those pebbles there now, so I'm gonna head round the other side. I'm gonna have to be selective with what I'm filming because I've only got 60% battery life. So when I'm just walking over the boulders, I won't film that. I'll film just looking purely for the fossils. But hopefully I'll get a rucksack full of fossils. Looks like someone's had a fun time smashing that rock up. Unfortunately, it's just been a nodule filled with septarians and calcite veins. I see them running all the way through the nodule there. There's an ammonite nodule there. Pretty rotten, but usually when they're like that, they're split open easier than the other ones. It's a nice flat rock there, so I think I'll set my bag down and sort out what I've got in my bag at the moment. Split what we found earlier in the video. Before I start cracking, I just thought I'd show you this little bit of harposterous ammonite as well. Just saw it in the shingle from over there. It's all nice and pyritised. Be nice to find a whole one today. There's also something over here that looks pretty suspicious that I've just spotted. I'm pretty sure it's just wood. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just wood. Looked a little bit like bone from a distance. It's very, very pyritic. You can see all the individual layers. Well, we'll split some of these nodules anyway. Get my hammer out my bag. There it is. I've separated the nodules. I've got a few that I'm going to split open, and I've got a few that I've left because they look like they're going to split open all right. And that way I can either send them out to some people who want the ammonites, or I can split them later on at home if I ever get bored and I just want to split a few ammonite nodules open. So we'll whack a few of these, see what we get out of them, and then I'll show you what we have at the end of it. Got me extra safety goggles on. Right, so I've split what I wanted to split. We'll have a little look, see what we've got. and I'll get my bag loaded up. Then we'll go on to the next bit of beach. Got a few little bits that I'll be keeping. Some of them aren't as good as the other bits, but it's better than throwing them in the sea and letting them get broken up even more. So all these ones here are nodules that I haven't split, which I'm just going to be keeping as they are. And that way I can either split them at home, send them out to other people, or prep them. We'll start off with this one. This is one that I split. Split pretty well. Just this little bit of rock that needs removing. Just a smaller water worn one. And then even what little ones like this that haven't split very well, I like to take home and then just to put in the garden. These ones, they need the centre penning out. If I try to whack them any further, they'd probably just shatter. So there's a couple of them. And then those two that are water worn. Another one that needs the centre taken out. There's one here that, it's a shame that this bit broke off, but it's so pyretised. You don't usually get them all golden like this. Goes back together perfect. Another little one there. Quite a nice clean split one. Again, it's quite heavily pyretised. Looks really nice. And then a couple of other little bits. Get them all taped up so that I don't lose the matching pairs. And then just 3 negatives, so just the imprints of the ammonites. It's not too bad for the first little bit of beach. Go on to the next bit. Few pyritite shells on that pyrite nodule. They look really nice actually. Not worth me carrying that home though. Let someone else find it. Bit of an ammonite negative there, pretty worn. There we go, nice little ammonite nodule. I'm gonna head round that corner now. It's a boulder field. I just set my bag down there to have a little drink and a bit of food. And while I was doing so, I found a little block which has some fish bone in it. So I'll show you that now. From first glance, it doesn't really look like it's anything. But when I started to look around the nodule, you can see there, big bit of bone. You can see how it's quite flaky, that's how you know it's fish bone. Presumably it's gyrosteus. See another bit of bone poking out there. A couple of more little bits there where it's starting to expose. I mean, there is a natural fracture going around the rock there. So I won't try and whack it. It definitely needs to be just prepped from either one side or the other. But I'm pretty pleased with that. And also, I found that bit of bone, and then this this one actually, I found it, started looking at it, and then dropped it, so it did actually break into two. But it's 3-1 paddle digits. You can see where the nodule separates it there. There's a bit of a 1 digit there, one there, and another one just there. So they have been pretty big paddle digits actually. All we'll have to do is run a little bit of glue through there and then fill it and then colour it in, and you wouldn't even know that it broke. I mean, it's a shame that it did break, but it's just one of those things, can't be helped. But we haven't done too bad already. A few scrappy bits of bone on there. See a little bit of a vertebra there, where the imprint of one anyway. A little bit of rib. Nothing worth holding on to though. Just getting into Runsick Bay now. I can see another fossil collector up there actually, I think. Up amongst the boulders. Just walking along the pebbles, and then I spotted this literally just poking out like that. It's a little vertebra fully encased in a pyrite nodule. And then there's some little shells as well. I'm surprised I found it because there's 2 fossil collectors over there that have obviously just missed it. Very nice. 3rd piece of bone today. And then just a couple of wandaks as well. There's a nice duck. That one's asking to be popped, that one. I'll leave it just like that, I think, and put it straight into my bag. Just whacked open this suspicious looking nodule. It's a perfect shape to have an ammonite in, and obviously I gave it a few little taps and it split straight through the centre. So let's have a look and see what's inside. Oh, very nice. Little bit that's stuck onto the other side of the nodule there, but I'm very pleased with that. See all the iron pyrite, or fool's gold, covering the shell there. Really nice. Just had a little look on the pebbly beach back around the corner and got a few ducks, and then that little vertebra that I showed you. But I'm just walking back into the bay now and all the way around into Kettleness. Give this nodule a whack anyway. It doesn't look too promising, but you never know. Safety glasses on again. And I don't think there'll be anything in this part here, but this part looks like it might have an ammonite in. They usually don't when they're this shape, but it's worth giving it a go anyway. Doesn't look too promising. No, nothing but a little shell. I mean, nodules like that, they usually don't split pretty well or very easily, and I've already bashed my thumb twice today. You can see the bruising starting to come already, so watch your fingers. It's 9:30 now, so there's about an hour to low water. I don't usually do very good along this bit of beach or further up. I think it gets pretty well picked over, so I'm gonna cut across the scar and I'll have plenty of time to have a little look around there. I've had quite a few good finds already. That vertebra, a little bit of paddle, that little like block of gyrosceus, quite a few ammonites. Nothing amazing, but certainly keeps you going. I've been walking along the edge of this seaweed, and then washing amongst it was this little piece of whippy jet. This is basically fossilised wood, and it's actually monkey puzzle tree. And this is what people make jewellery with in Whitby. I just found this crushed pleurostrous ammonite. It doesn't look like it's going to have a centre, but even just as is, it looks really nice. I'll just wash it in the water, be able to see all the colours. It's like a dark brown, purpley sort of shell. Probably not all there, but still nice to find, something a little bit different. Just coming up to the whale now. I'm pretty sure it's been here well over a year now. It's got a nice skull. Look at that, that's really impressive. I'm just going to walk over these boulders, shoot off straight around the corner. I'm meeting my parents in 2 hours. Shouldn't be too bad, just means I'll have to go a bit faster over the boulders. Hopefully we get something else, something nice. This one just poking out of there as well, actually. There's another one. It's just about catching it right on the day. It's all down to luck. Some days you'll get nothing. It's always worth coming out to have a little look. Popped open another one off camera. It's actually pretty nice. One of the better ones of today. Pretty much all the way to the centre. Tiny little bit missing there, but it's a decent split. So I'm pleased with that one. Wouldn't be a trip without filming the cave and the waterfall. Just have a quick look and go straight around to the point. The sea's like a mirror today, looks lovely. I think we need a rough sea to stir up all of the loose pebbles. Just walking along the flat scar, it saves walking over all those slippy boulders. So that's where I'm heading, right round over there in that point. And then just past there and then back along the top. There's a crushed Entails ammonite there. The outer chamber's pretty 3D, and then as it gets towards the centre it's all crushed. You can see an ammonite from over here actually. See it just there. A little bit missing there where maybe it's been predated, I'm not sure. Put that in the rucksack just like that, I think. Tell you what, it's warm now. Feel the heat. It's pretty knackered, that one. Just picked up 3 more nodules there. I can't see anything in these 2, but in this one, there's one peeking out just there, so I'll keep that one in my bag. And then these 2 will split now, I think. Nothing out. Wonder if there's anything in it. Empty. And then that one hasn't been preserved very well. It's really sugary. Gonna end the video there. I hope you've enjoyed it. Something a little bit different. I don't think we've filmed a long walk like this for a while. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've liked some of the things that I found today. Pretty chuffed. I mean, little vert, 3 warm paddle digits, bit of gyrosteus, loads of ammonites, a pleuroceros as well, a perinoceros which needs prepping. I forgot to film that. So thanks for watching.
What a fossil hunt that was. I really hope you've enjoyed that. And now, let's go and have a look at the Ichthyosaur bones, which I mentioned at the start of the video. Now, I didn't mention what the find was itself, but what it is some very small Ichthyosaur vertebrae. And it's difficult to tell whether they are from the spine of a very small juvenile Ichthyosaur or from the tail of a much bigger Ichthyosaur. And I won't really know until they're properly cleaned up. However, it looks like they've come out of a pretty fresh piece of shale that's come down, a little fresh landslip perhaps. So I'll go show you now where I found them, and then we'll have a look at the find itself. You can see there's a lot of fresh rock which has fallen. And actually a lot of this fell when I was here today. I literally saw this fall. There was a few people nearby, thankfully safe enough distance away that it didn't hit them, but even if you're not at the foot of the cliff, rock could easily hit the floor and bounce towards you. Or sometimes, like here, if there's a big, it's hard to tell on the camera, but there's actually a big ledge and rock can easily fall from higher up down onto a ledge and bounce off and hit you from a good distance away. You always got to be very careful. I'm stood quite far away from the cliff here, I'm just zoomed right in. My find was, as I was just walking along here, the very edge of all these pieces of shale. There's then a few little pebbles and more bits of shingle just sat over amongst the rocks. There's those little vertebrae which I mentioned, and I'll show you them now. That's a look at where I found them. Now let's have a look at the fossils themselves. I've got 3 pieces. One of them has several vertebrae inside. Another has just a single vertebra. And one of the pieces has some very little parts of the rib cage. Some little bits of fractured partial ribs. Very interesting. Here's the pieces. Now these were in bigger pieces. I've broken a couple of them down. They're all fractured around the outside anyway, so they were pretty easy. But you can see here, little vertebra. An Ichthyosaur vertebra, and presumably these are all from the same beast. Obviously I can't be 100% certain, but they're all in the same little area, so I think it's quite likely. These are from a marine reptile called an Ichthyosaur, roughly 180 million years old, from the Jurassic period. So that's one of the vertebrae. And this here looks to be part of the rib cage. So we've got a piece here and 3 more, and I think these are all partial ribs. So that's very nice. I'll wash these off in just a moment as well so we can get a better look at them. And this is probably the best piece. So this has how many? It looks like 4 vertebrae. What a lovely piece that is. In position as well. 3 of them are articulated and 1 loose. Look at that. When these are prepared, I mean, the quality is going to be superb. Completely fresh out. Unfortunately, they must have got a little bit worn. They might have been sat on the shingle a few days, perhaps. This is just as an example of how quickly the elements will just completely destroy fossils. Wouldn't have taken long at all for this to happen, but at least they're perfect on the underneath. Let's give them a quick wash off. It'll help us see them a bit better, especially these ribs. Right, here we go. I'll wash these vertebrae off first. A bit of green hair stuck on it. Look at that. Right, now for the next piece. This is the little vertebrae on its own. Finally, got the piece of ribs next. There we go. So these will take a bit of preparation to properly reveal them. Be nice to have all these bones associated together, most likely from the same beast. And there we have it, Shae's fossil hunt, my little fossil hunt here, where I got those lovely reptile finds. Overall, I think this is probably my favourite fossil hunting video I've uploaded to my YouTube channel so far. I'd appreciate the feedback in the comments if you enjoyed it or if anything could be made different. Thanks again for watching. Just before you go, Shae was mentioning in his video about sending some ammonites out for people like yourself at home to open up. Not many people know, but Shae does this full time. Paleontology is his job now, and if you'd like to support him and support our channel, please contact him. His details are at the end of the video, either on his Instagram or his email, and he'll send you out some ammonite to crack open yourself at home. The nodules we send out are specially selected and are the ones which open perfectly almost every time. Of course, we can't guarantee it, but certain nodules open a lot easier than the rest, and we always save those for the ones we send out to our customers. And equally, if you'd like a fully prepared specimen or anything else, just let him know and he'll see what he can do for you. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Last but not least, as promised, I've got the footage of the little seal that I saw sat out on the shale. I've got a little clip here of the rough sea, and then we'll have a look at that seal. Hope you've enjoyed seeing that little seal, something a bit different. The very end of the video coming up now. Hope you've enjoyed it overall, and I look forward to showing the next episode. I've got a few exciting ones coming up.